Did you get nerves going on? You look so natural on stage.
You need to be on your A game. I can do big shows. It's the fact that it was a competition show. So you're like not just performing, you're being judged. I don't think anyone tells you what it's really gonna be like until you're into it. It's half talent show, half reality show. You have to also be telling your story. And it's not just you're up against magic, you're up against the best of every talent.
Can we see some magic tricks?
Yes. One card. Yeah. Think you're a king.
It's the King of Hearts. Wow. These are real dollars.
The $1 bills in turn.
Wow, that's actually insane.
One.
Wow. All right. We have the infamous Anna De Guzman here today. I'm so excited to talk to you and learn more because I feel like we've run into each other and known each other for, I don't know, a year and a half. But like I don't really know your story. I just know, you're amazing at magic. You've been on some big name shows and just performed for, all over the world. And now I get to sit down and talk to you about it. So I'm excited.
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me on your show, Tim.
Of course.
I feel like we've met many times. And when I first moved to Miami, I met you when I was like working.
Yeah.
And doing magic at all the Groot spots.
Yep.
But we really haven't gotten to get to know each other more on like a deeper level, but I think we have like similar values, and that's what I was interested in learning more by being on the show.
Amazing. Then let's dive right into it. So how did you get into magic? Because like that is the most non-traditional path like you can think about. So like when did your passion start and how'd you get into it?
I started a few years ago and I just saw it. You'd always see magic shows or like you have that one uncle that shows you that one magic trick that they know, and I was always curious about it. I just love knowing how things work, so I taught myself. I just would think like of what is a possible method to make this work, and I would just try it, and if it worked, I would do it over and over again until like I came up with my own method, and that's how I started, and eventually started creating my own effects.
Wow. And so how old were you when this happened?
This was like when I was older, like 18.
Oh, so it's not like you were doing this as a kid or anything?
No, I was just watching it as a kid. I was always curious about it, but I never started performing until I got older.
Okay.
And I moved to LA, and I joined this thing called Magic Castle. Do you know what Magic Castle is?
I don't.
Magic Castle is like a real-life Hogwarts. It's a magic venue where you can watch shows, like get dinner, bar. It's a magic members club.
That's sick.
And I was just going there watching shows, and then eventually you're around some of the best magicians in the world that you start to pick up a few things, and I started creating my own stuff just being around them.
Yeah. And Magic Castle's in LA. So
yes,
you're just going nonstop. Wow.
Well, I was living in LA at the time.
Yeah.
So, but it was when I first moved to LA, like within the first month.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah, and then eventually it started performing. Because also being in LA, you're around so many artists and creatives that I would just like show magic to them, and then they would post me, and I was like, oh, people think this is cool. And you're seeing like performing for celebrities, and that's how it started for me. I was kind of targeting that niche of like being the first female magician to perform for A-list celebrities. Like no one had ever seen that, and seeing like celebrity reactions. This is when like magic reaction videos were huge. I don't know if you remember that time.
I remember that. I remember it was huge on like Facebook.
Yeah,
right?
Facebook
videos.
Vine, this like back in the day, Vine days. That was that time.
Okay, so that's
when
you
you
started.
Yeah, I was living in like LA during that prime time where like influencer wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah.
But that's when it started to come up. And Instagram was new, everything was new. So I was really early.
Nice. And so tell me what happens after. You're at Magic Castle, you're performing, you're getting better, you're getting more comfortable on stage.
I was in college, and I was going to school for accounting. I think people don't know that I was. Can you imagine me as an accountant?
No, knowing you now, I can't imagine.
Like it would just be not my thing. Like I think I would have been good at it, but I was never in love with it.
Yeah.
And I love performing now, and it was, I'm Filipino, and doing any creative path is not the traditional route that your family wants for you.
Yes.
I was supposed to be a nurse.
Wow.
That's what every Filipino girl is.
Yes.
So even being an accountant was like, not even good enough apparently.
Yeah.
But I went to school for finance, and then I was living in LA, doing magic every once in a while, and I was just having so much fun that I told myself, okay, let me try pursuing like magic and performing, accounting will always be there.
Yeah.
So I just like tried it. I was like, I'm having a lot of fun, and I started to book small gigs. Like this is like $200. I was so happy. You know, you're in college, like people would pay you for me to come and do magic. I'd be happy just to do it for fun, right?
Yeah.
And so I realized people would pay me to perform, and then I just started to build a show where I was like, yeah, I could do like 30 minutes and put together 10 tricks and a script. And then eventually, like, you know, the more you do it, the more like you refine the act.
Yeah.
And eventually started like really putting together a show and building my stage presence. And then eventually like signed to management, everything, like a talent management.
Gotcha. So when did, so tell me about that time. Did you like eventually decide to drop out of college? Did you finish?
I didn't finish. Yeah, I just decided that it wasn't for me. And that's like the one thing I do kind of think about every once in a while. I think my life would have been so different if I had finished.
Yeah.
My dream school was USC. If I had gotten into USC, I think I would have stayed all 4 years and finished. And I was going to dual major in business and film. But when I didn't get in, I just was so discouraged that I just felt like, okay, there's just maybe something else for me. And I just went to like a regular school and wasn't as motivated about school. I was living in LA and going out in LA. And LA is its own bubble. Like you're around people who aren't normal people. We're all there to kind of like make it.
Correct.
So everyone's living a dream. And school just kind of like fell back. Like I was always a good student, but I wasn't like an academic kid that loved school. I just could do school. Like I can show up on time, do the test, leave.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really make friends in school. I was always going out with people who weren't in school. And then I actually have like a moment that made me like know that I wanted to leave. And it's so LA. Basically, I don't even think you would remember this, but it was like my first LA party, like mansion in the hills, like the whole
typical,
thing.
The typical.
Yeah, typical to you now, right? At the time, I was like this innocent girl. I didn't know anything. Like what you see of me now is not who I was.
Yeah.
LA definitely changed me. I definitely was like Hollywooded up. But back then I was just a normal girl and I was like not that cute and like I was just normal. And I don't know how I get to this party. My friend was living in one of those like houses, you know, like, you know, with a bunch of people all splitting the rent. And I was hanging out with him and I'm about to leave and someone knocks on the door. Oh, hey guys, my name is Austin and it's Post Malone. And I just like double take because I was like, is that Post Malone? Like, this is like when he first started blowing up. Like he wasn't even like Post Malone really yet. I think maybe Congratulations had just come out or something.
Got it.
And I was like, what? Oh, and like he's just hanging out at the house with the guys. And I was like, I have class tomorrow. Like, and all of a sudden, like 30 girls come in. Like, I'd never really been around that. And I had just like shown them magic, like very casually. I did magic for Post Malone, which was super cool. I'm not sure if I ever posted a video of it or if I have one. We were all just hanging out. There was like maybe 10 of us at that point. And then like 30 girls showed up.
Wow.
And like I was on my phone and these girls were like, how do you have your phone? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, they took away all our phones. And I still, you know, I'd been in the house all day, so no one took away my phone, like security. Like, that is so LA.
Yes.
Like, I was like, what? Like, why would they take away your phone? Who cares? And so then I'm there, and I'm at this party, and, like, it's getting later and later. And I was like, I have class tomorrow. Oh, no. Like, my class is at 8. It's like 3, 4 a.m. And I was talking to one of these girls, and they were so nice, and, you know, they thought the magic was cool, and they were nice to me. And I was like, I should go. I have school. And they're like, no, stay. Like, just come hang out. Like, and it was like am I going to go to bed right now? Or am I going to, like, continue hanging out, you know?
Having fun.
And having fun. And that was so new to me. Like, I had never really gotten to do that. So I was just, like, exposed to, like, this experience that I thought was so cool and foreign to me. And then I do, like, get home at, like, 5, 6 a.m. And I still go to class at 8 a.m. in the following morning. But I'm sitting in class. And I was like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
This isn't it for me. Like, I just know that, like, there's so much more out there. And maybe that wasn't the right way to look at it over like kind of like a very superficial experience, but it did make me go, what I'm doing in school it has nothing to do with this like life that I have outside of school, and like there's no correlation or nothing really. So then I kind of already thought about leaving, and then like one more thing happened that was like super LA that made me go like, school's not this is not for me.
Which is fine, right? Because
I felt like I did fine without it.
Yeah. And I think exactly everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So tell me when you started to get more exposure on magic. Like what happened first? Like did you start getting traction on social media, or was it from your signing with the talent agency?
I would say it's just now really blowing up for me. I think I've always like, everyone always thinks it's like from the outside, like overnight success type of thing. And I feel like I've been doing this for a few years. I mean, it never, you have that one viral video, but that doesn't like change your life.
Yeah.
And then it's about consistency. So I've been doing this for years, and I think I had been doing it in the beginning when I first moved to LA and collaborating with other creators, doing like the whole we were all doing collabs. Like that was a big thing of how most people grew in the beginning, like 1600 Vine days. Do you remember that?
I know that was like the
that was in LA,
yeah.
And I was living right there and just around that. So we were all like posting each other, and it was great for everybody at the time. Like everyone was friends. And then that was one way. That was posting videos was how I got live shows. Because the people who would watch it would like book me to see the show or the magic live. They want to see it in real life.
Wow.
So that they go hand in hand. So I continued to post because the money was really being made from live performances. And then, eventually brand deals and stuff. But I just started posting, and then I got the attention of like TV shows. So I had been on like random TV shows like MTV Amazingness, which is like a talent show. I performed on like the Steve Harvey show. He like interviewed me about cardistry.
Wow.
And then like you'd never seen a girl do magic or handle cards.
Correct.
Like it's just not a thing. There aren't that many. So I stood out very early on because no one had just ever seen it. Mostly men do magic, and there's no reason. I think any girl could do magic. It's not like a gender specific hobby.
Yeah.
So I stood out and utilized that. Because at first I used to be really embarrassed about doing magic because it wasn't girly and I thought it was nerdy. But then I realized I could use that to my advantage, that I'm different. And then started to corner the market for being a female magician. So if they were looking for a female, like, which was rare, but if they were, I was the only one.
Wow.
And I was very discoverable because I would post.
Yeah.
And I would like hashtag female magician. So it was very easy to find me. If you look female magician up, like I will pop up because there's like maybe a handful. And now there are more, and that's what I wanted to do. I want to inspire more people to get into it, especially young girls, because I never had a female role model in this space. So I want to be that for the next generation. And I just started posting, and I would say the TV stuff really helped. I got on Fool Us. Do you know Fool Us?
No, what is that?
Fool Us is a magic TV show on CW.
Okay.
Penn and Teller.
Oh, I know Penn and Teller.
Yeah,
it's
it's their show. So you go on, and they're watching you perform an original magic illusion, and you try to fool them. So you're trying to fool the top best magicians in the industry. So I was on that show. And that I felt like really was a big milestone in my career, but then COVID happened. So that aired in 2019, and then when that would have like brought me more bookings.
Yes.
COVID hit, and it was kind of like for everybody, right? There was no work, especially in my industry where you're performing in group gatherings that was not allowed. So it was really quiet during that time, and then I was unmotivated and really depressed because I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what to do. I was like, I didn't finish school. Like, I don't know anything else.
It just kills all your momentum.
Yeah, I was like, should I go back to school? Like, what am I supposed to do? I've never done anything else. I don't know what else I'm good at. I've just been doing magic. So I was really discouraged. And then I realized I need to just go back to my roots and start posting videos again and just make videos because now live shows are not a thing. Just like focus on content. and you're all staying at home anyway, so you have all this time to be filming. But I also wasn't feeling good about myself because I was depressed. I didn't like how I looked. I felt like I gained a lot of weight. Like during COVID, like everyone's just like inside eating, right? Or
Yep.
whatever. So I was just like not motivated to film. But then like I got this one gig. I forgot what it was. It was during the pandemic. Oh, it was a commercial. It was a Microsoft commercial.
Wow.
Which is crazy. It was like it really got me out of like this dark hole that I was like, okay, this is like what I need to like give me the fire again to like
Be excited, motivated.
yeah, have something to look forward to, have something like I'm working on, and then like work on myself. I was like, okay, I need something that like tells me I still got it. So I booked this random Microsoft commercial, and this is during the pandemic, and it was for the Super Bowl or something, or it was for the NFL.
Yeah.
And I'm just like flipping around this phone, you know, like doing magic with it. And that was like a really good gig that kind of like brought me out. And pandemic is now like, I feel like over right now.
Yeah. Now it's over for sure.
And now I feel like now is when my career is like really getting to pick up again, because now I can be out and about and see doing magic. And that's when you met me when I moved to Miami.
Yep.
I started performing at all the group venues.
Yep.
So that helped. All these little things have helped.
Yeah. But now what's good is you're able to build your momentum back, right? Like
Yeah.
as you do this commercial or this show, you'll get more and more. So what made you want to move to Miami?
I was living in LA for the past 5 years, and then I had gone out to Miami for New Year's, and one of my best friends had moved out here. So I was staying with her. She was like, you need to move to Miami. And you know, Miami has that energy, that sparkle. When you first come to Miami, I think everyone knows like it's the best time.
It's insane here.
The energy is unmatched anywhere else you go.
Yeah.
So I moved here, and I was, you know, LA was super strict with COVID, masks, like lockdown. And then you go to Miami, that's fully open. I was like, I don't need to live like that in LA. Like, why am I paying so much to live in LA that can't do anything? So I go out in Miami. My best friend had moved there. I was like, okay, I'm going to move to Miami. First time I ever even visited Miami, I was like, I love it here. I'm going to move here. And I did it that same year. I just felt like I needed to change from LA. And if I stayed in LA, like my life would never change. I'd already been there for so many years that like I could get what I needed out of it. And LA is always going to be there. I can always go back. But I felt like I had done that, and I was ready for a change to tackle a new market. And then at the same time, I had already decided I was going to move. I met DeGuzman in New York randomly, and I was brought up to his table with his wife and a bunch of people to do magic. And I did magic for them, and they're like, oh, this is great. If you're ever in Miami, you should perform at our venues. And I was like, yeah, I'm actually moving there. And it was just like a perfect timing thing, and I felt like God was, you know, making everything align with me, where I was moving to Miami, but now I have a job opportunity. So there's a no-brainer to move. You know, obviously I was scared leaving LA and leaving my friends and my life, but there was something about Miami that was like, everything's happening for me there. I have so much opportunity there to have a better life. I can't lose this. I'm going to take this opportunity. And then moved to Miami, instantly hit him up and was like, hey, if you're serious, like I'm here, I'm ready. And he like put me on right away. Like, how many days you want? 5 days, 3 days, whatever. And we just started doing a circuit, Komodo, Swan, Poppy Steak. And I just started performing at all the spots, Strawberry Moon.
Yep.
I mean, Groot spots were like the biggest in Miami. He's the king of Miami, so.
Wait, that's amazing. And so I think what you mentioned about Miami and like the energy being here, Miami just feels like LA 5-6 years ago. You know, where like when you get to LA, you used to get that same feeling where it's like, this is the city, or even like New York.
It has that sparkle.
Yeah. And I think the environment you're in is so important. Like what you said during COVID, like if you're just in a place that doesn't motivate you, whether that's mentally or physically in your environment, it's tough to just get up and actually like make change. So
yeah. And Miami right now, I think, is the best city in America.
Yeah, 100%.
We know. I feel like we know because we're here, we know. People who don't know this, they just haven't been here.
Exactly. But I think it's people are starting to move and realize, like, once you visit, you can see just the difference in energy and the motivation. It's not like the stigma like it was in the past where it's like Miami's a party city. So.
Yeah, I think that's the outside perspective because people are coming here usually to visit during a holiday or like a
Vacation.
event week. Yeah, a bachelor party, whatever it is. So when you actually live here and you're living like a local life, you realize you don't do all that stuff all the time. It's because people are visiting for 4 days. They're trying to jam pack every club, party, dinner spot in that 4 days.
Yeah.
But when you live here, you don't do that like as often.
Correct. I agree. You get out of your system early, and then you enjoy a lot of the other things that Miami has to offer. And I think whether that's taxes, the beach, sun.
Love tax-free states.
Yeah, we love tax-free states, you know? So
yeah. See, like that's like a great benefit, but even just lifestyle, right? Like it feels like the sun shines and it's warmer. People are happier here. You get to go to the beach. The beach accessibility is huge.
yeah,
And
good restaurants.
yes,
There's always something going on.
there is. So you could choose when and if you want to go out to that, or if you just want to relax. And I've loved my balance here. I think Miami, I always tell people Miami because I had an interview once that was like, oh, we have a magician from Florida. And I corrected them on the spot. I was like, I don't live in Florida. I live in Miami.
You're like, excuse me, Miami's separate. It's
yeah,
different.
Miami's in Florida.
Miami's its own state right now.
It's Miami is a state of its own. Do not confuse it with the rest of Florida. It's true.
It's true. It is.
Like as soon as you get like 45 minutes out, you're like, oh, this is Florida.
Yeah.
We live in Miami. We live in this bubble.
Exactly.
And I like our bubble. I like it how it is.
So tell me about, so you're also on Australia's Got Talent.
I was. Yes.
And I watched a clip and everything, and it was an amazing performance. Did you get nerves like going on? You look so natural on stage. Like,
Really?
I would be
nervous.
nervous. Like I would be stuttering. I don't know. Like when it's that big of a crowd, I feel like it's much different from like a small crowd.
I think to me, I can do both because from my perspective, honestly, with the lights and everything, you kind of like everyone blends out. So what would look like 100 people or like 10,000 people kind of blends out. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. That's for me. But I was nervous because I can do big shows. It's the fact that it was a competition show. So you're like not just performing, you're being judged and you're either eliminated or not. So that was, very nerve-wracking. And I think on stage, I am the most myself. So, like, I get to,
give me your pre-stage performance routine.
Like, from my start of my day, if I know I have a show, honestly, I start with filling my day with things that make me happy and calm. Usually, try not to go out before, try to get a good night's rest. Skincare routine, because like all those little things, I think once those are taken care of, make me focus on the performance so that I know I feel good. So I'll get my matcha latte. I usually don't eat before the show. I'll do something light, like maybe a smoothie, acai bowl, something light.
Yeah.
And then
I would throw it if I ate beforehand. So
I have to eat like before the show, like hours before if
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat, because I can't eat like right before the show. I have the outfit already set the day before, ironed, all that stuff. And then, you do your hair and makeup.
Do you practice your performance as well?
I'm running live. So in Australia, at least, or any performance like that, I've already rehearsed. Like, I've done my 10,000 hours when it comes to magic, for sure. And to me, it's muscle memory. Like, I'm at a point where, like, my routine is locked down. And when I get on stage, everything clicks. And every line that I deliver, even though it seems, like, off the top, is scripted. But the key is to not sound scripted. I want to come off natural. But everything is rehearsed and, like, down to a science. Every line is intentional. Every joke that seems like I just made it up is been pre-planned. Like, I have an answer for everything that the person could say. So that's all been prepared for what I've been doing for years. Like, every show I learn something new. I write down new lines. The audience gives me lines all the time. Someone will say something in a show and I'll remember to write it down and use it for the next show and repeat the same thing I said to trigger that same response from the ex-audience. There's a lot of psychology that goes into it, which I love. I love understanding how people think and learning how the mind works and triggering reactions. And we learn as humans, we all kind of follow a pattern. So it's easy to, when you know this, like, it's easy to kind of reenact the same result if you want something to happen, if you don't. So that whole day is just prepping, And there's a lot of things you can't prepare for because every show can be different and every show is different. Every audience is different. So you don't know what could happen. I just focus on what I can control and what I'm good at. So what I'm good at is the magic. The rest, I have to stay super present for. I think that's the key to being a good performer, is being present and listening to the audience. So just having natural banter, and having lines ready to go that don't seem like lines, but
your heart's not like beating or racing.
Oh yeah, totally. My heart's
Okay.
beating out of my chest, but like you almost can't show that because you want to come off confident.
Yes.
Like
natural,
you've done this before.
100%.
Because you're a professional. You have to be a pro. You have to be calm, cool. And I think there is something that happens to me when I step on stage. A switch flips and I just turn on. And I'm just this extension of myself. I'm the most me. Because I feel like on stage you have a lot of control. Like it's your show. So you control what happens.
Yeah. And I think meeting a lot of other content creators as well, like I feel like to be good, you need to have that internal switch where it's like someone's normal at dinner, but the moment they're on like a YouTube video or whatever it is.
It's intuitive.
Yeah.
For sure. We all have that.
Yeah.
I think I noticed that with anyone like who's a vlogger too.
Exactly.
When I would see
they're not
people,
like that 24/7.
You can't be. And I think that's
be.
also what's hard because some people expect them to be that off camera or whatever.
Yes.
I do think I'm pretty similar. I think naturally like I have to reserve some energy for when I perform because that's more heightened. But I do think I'm very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's because when I was doing prep, before you came on the show, I think you're also a Leo, same as me.
Yes,
so I feel
Leos. I feel
like you, like, I don't know. I believe in the signs. I don't know if you believe in.
Oh yeah, I'm a Leo sun and moon. Like
You're full Leo.
Yeah, I'm a full
so that's
Leo.
why you like the attention.
Yeah, we love attention. We can't help it. I can't help it. It's not my fault. I just feel like we're always meant to be main characters.
Yeah.
Leos are the best.
Okay, so cool. I feel like I saw that and I was like, okay, that makes sense. She's performing. She loves being in the spotlight. Leo, done. Connection made.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. When people ask me what my sign is, I feel like it's very obvious.
Yeah.
And I love being Leo. And I think I channel it when I perform because I don't know. I was never meant to be a normal person or like shy. I'm very extroverted. I can be introverted at times, but not. Yeah, when I'm out, I definitely get energy from being around people.
Nice. Same. I feel like I can like flip a switch and be social, but I can also spend an entire day, and Juan knows as well, where I'm just on the couch like doing work nonstop for like 3 or 4, 5 days straight with no human interaction. So
yeah, we can do both.
You can flip. Yeah. Exactly. So. So tell me more about Australia's Got Talent. So
Australia's Got Talent was incredible. It was my first big experience with a Got Talent show because it's a huge like franchise for a lot of countries, and I'm doing America's Got Talent this season. So I don't know if people know that. Yeah, that's exclusive.
Sick. So we get the first dibs here.
Yeah, I auditioned in LA.
It's done. You already auditioned.
It's airing. I don't know when this will air, but hopefully like when it airs, you'll see it. Yes. Okay. And Australia's Got Talent got me prepared for America's because America's was like such a bigger production. Like Australia was huge. I had to fly to Sydney. Like I'm dealing with the time difference and like being so tired and performing. But that experience from like start to finish of like dealing with producers, coming up with the idea of what I'm going to perform, like all that set me up for success for America because then I knew what it would be like because I don't think anyone tells you what it's really going to be like until you're into it. It just sounds like, oh, you just show up and audition. No, there's like a whole thing that you have to do before. Like there's talking to people, like interviews about your life because it's half talent show, half reality show. You have to also be telling your story.
People want to watch you too, right? You're selling yourself.
Yes. And it's not just you're up against magic, you're up against the best of every talent, singing, dancing, like random acts. So you need to be on your A game and you need to stand out. And so you could be, it's one of those, what's the saying? It's hard work beats talent. So I think I'm very good at magic, but I think even more I work hard to stay relevant in magic because there's so many magicians, but I don't think everyone puts in the work to stay active in the community and do little things like to stay in the know. And I feel like I position myself very well in that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. Cool. Well, I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, I want to do a watch party here. I think I'll do the watch party in Miami.
You should.
Yeah.
I'll text whatever you need to vote. Like
yes, so that's the thing. So you don't know about the next round because it's up to audience vote. So we're in right now. We're in, guys. I'm very happy, but now we have to see what the audience
wants.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's where your like story and everything else comes into play to get everything out there, because you could be the best magician, but like obviously they're gonna take into account what your backstory is.
Yeah.
And that's really
because at the end of the day, for the show, they need to get the most viewers as well, right?
Yep.
They have to.
And what sells?
Exactly, what sells. So
I think there's a lot of very talented people on this season, but also the prize, if you don't know, the prize is you get $1 million and a Vegas show, like your own Vegas residency.
wow, I didn't know that.
So, you know, some people might be really good, but can they carry their own show? Can you headline a show in Vegas on the Strip? And I think I can do that, and I think I'm meant to do that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So that's your end goal, is to eventually have your own
My
show.
end goal, I mean, I think Vegas is the typical magic
Pinnacle, right?
Yeah,
So
but I personally want to be bigger than Vegas. I want to tour the world.
that's amazing.
Like I wanted to have a traveling tour because I love travel outside of magic. I've always been interested in learning about other cultures, and I'm obsessed with like languages. So I want to travel and use magic kind of as an excuse to get to visit those countries.
Yes, that'd be sick. You're kind of mixing like the artist side of it, where artists go on tour, but doing that versus being in just one residency. So
I mean, I think there's a lot of parallels that other magicians aren't doing. And I think because I was living in LA and Miami and getting to experience other industries like TV and music and even tech, that if I implemented those things in my magic career, I think I would, do things that other magicians have never done, because I've been lucky enough to just surround myself with people that do those things. And like I don't think normal magicians would think like, oh, like I want a residency in Dubai. Like I just want to go to Dubai.
you're like, I just want to stop by, perform some shows. So
Yeah.
So on the note of Australia's Got Talent, to finish up, what you said really interested me, which is like the behind the scenes of it, right? Because no one knows unless you do it. So like, would love to hear some more stories of like what it was like actually being on that show, aside from just the 5-minute clip people see.
Yeah, people don't know what goes into those 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's the prep beforehand of like coming up with the idea of what you're gonna perform. Because you go back and forth and pitch them tons of ideas. You're like, okay, I could make an elephant disappear, and like, Kendall Jenner's gonna come out riding, like, I don't know, with your card in her mouth, like something like crazy. You're gonna tell them all these different things, and you almost come up with the idea before you can actually do it, because you're gonna pitch the idea and then come up with a method later. At least that's how I did it. Like I'm just telling you what I did. I don't know. Every act is different, right? Like you're not going to do that with like a music act. They're going to be like, I'm going to sing this song, and they'll pitch different songs.
Yeah.
So you're just telling them all these different ideas of what's possible. And with magic, anything is possible. And they have seen so much magic on that show. Like some of the best magicians have come on. So you have to also come up with something original that has never been seen. And that's really hard. I think that's harder because they've just had so much, and they want to show something different every season, and it has to top the last one. So you're coming up with ideas, and then you fly out. I mean, I had to fly out to Australia to actually audition, which is far. It's very, very far. Like from Miami, I think that there's no direct flight, obviously, and it takes 30 hours.
Wow.
I broke it up. I went to LA first, practiced in LA for a bit, and then LA to Australia.
Yeah.
And that was still a lot, like the time difference. It's like 14 hours or something. And you're staying in Sydney, and obviously I wanted to explore a little bit of Australia while I was there, which was really cool. I think it's a really cool country. And it's also an easy country, I say, because everyone speaks English.
Okay,
So
that's
it's
nice.
like, it's a very easy country to go visit. And the culture was amazing. Everyone's so friendly. The food was amazing. You're really close to Asia. They had really good Asian food.
Wow.
I don't say that lightly. Like, yeah, very good Asian food. And so I'm just exploring Australia, but also like practicing. I have a magic consultant mentor, which helps me with my magic shows. And we're just practicing and, just at least with these shows versus like a full length show, it's one effect versus an hour-long show that's yours. You just have to focus on the one trick.
Yeah.
So I'm just running through this like one effect over and over again. And I do that, but also I think you still have to keep up with the other magic stuff because it just keeps you sharp, kind of like reps. You just have to keep the ball rolling. So I just have to always be performing. It keeps me in that mode. And then you have a rehearsal day where you do go into where you're going to perform and get to see like the lighting and tell them the best angles to shoot everything. So you do get one rehearsal time where you can kind of expect, okay, this is the space, this is how hot the lights are going to be, this is how close the judges are going to be, that kind of thing. And that's it. Like, that's your one rehearsal. Next day, you're like in the green room with a bunch of other contestants, right? They hold you all together.
Wow.
And like they shoot behind the scenes of like you guys interacting.
Because it makes it more tense. That's probably why
Yeah,
they do
because
it.
you're seeing
The competition, yes.
There's no competition for me. I felt like really comfortable. I'm very comfortable on camera. I like being on camera. That's fine. But then, you do your interviews because they do like, oh, how are you feeling? Like, are you nervous? That kind of thing. And then you're being held on standby. You're the next one about to go on stage. They do like a little interview, like go at it, like show them what you got, and then you're there. You're like standing on top of an X in the middle of the stage, and you see all the audience, and it just hits you. I feel like that's the moment it hit me.
Wow.
Like the whole day was like easy, and then boom, it hit me as soon as I'm standing in front of the judges, and it was just like, oh, who are you? Like, what are you gonna do for us today? And then boom, autopilot.
Right through it.
Yeah, and it's the quickest 5 minutes of your life. Everything that has led up to that, the actual part of it that you're leading up to is so short.
Wow.
Because there's so many contestants. I mean, there's hundreds of contestants that they have to get through. So
Yeah.
you really don't.
You have 5 minutes to shine and really
Yes.
stand out.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Can we see some magic tricks?
Yes, I have.
Nice. We got the deck.
So
of
I don't know
cards.
if you know that, or like they know this, obviously, that So do you remember when I first met you? You were at Komodo. You were vlogging.
Yes.
I don't know if there's like a vlog footage of when we met. You were vlogging, and I did magic for your table.
There might be.
Yeah,
It
was like a
Juan
long
has
time.
all the
Yeah,
organized
it was
files,
a long
so-
time ago when you were like doing the vlogs, and you were working in nightlife.
No, I wasn't.
Never.
Never.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else could we do?
But I definitely remember the Komodo
Yes.
show for
Here,
sure.
Go ahead and you can see they're all different. All right. Go ahead and
Nice.
take one.
Take one.
Yeah. And show the camera.
Yep.
Um,
All right. Camera knows.
the camera knows. Hold it against your heart. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
Now Tim is a very lucky guy, as we know.
Very lucky.
It's a very lucky card.
This is.
Yeah.
I
It
think
was
so.
meant. I think cards are all meant to be found by the right person. You could have chosen like lucky number 7 or like, an ace, but I think you're a king, so it's a king, isn't it? The King of Hearts.
It's the King of Hearts.
Yes.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. Here, and I'll show you something else. Here, place the king wherever you want.
Okay.
Right there. Okay. Oh, there it is again. We'll lose it about halfway. Do you want to shuffle? Do you know how to shuffle?
I don't know how to shuffle.
Okay, we'll give it a couple mixes. Okay. First it was like 30 down. Now it could be anywhere, right? If we shuffled it.
Okay.
One card shoots out.
Wow.
The King of Hearts.
King of Hearts. That's the lucky card.
The lucky card.
Yes.
But that's me taking the card and finding it, I want you to, can you pinch? Just give me a little pincher. So take the king. Go ahead and put it back. Say stop.
Stop.
Okay, place the card back.
I put the card back.
You put it back already?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. You did?
I did.
Did you hide it? Did you like put it away?
No. I put it in when you looked away.
Oh.
Yes. Was I not supposed to do that?
Oh, no, it's okay. We can fix it. If we just
Okay.
wave over, take a look at the top card.
No way. Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I love cards. I could do cards all day, to be honest.
So cards is like, that's the
specialty.
OG. That's the specialty.
Yeah, I do
Yes.
other stuff. I
Yeah.
actually want to try something else with you. Like, I mean, we're in Miami,
We are in Miami.
and I feel like this is everybody's favorite.
Dollar bills.
Everyone loves money.
Everyone loves money in Miami.
Yeah, we're in Miami. Everyone here loves money. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, $5. 1, 2, 4 right here.
Okay,
Right.
$5.
Yeah.
Nice.
Show the camera.
These are real dollars. I don't know where Anna got these from, but this is it.
There's
This is
like
Miami
this place
money.
called 11.
Yeah.
Just picked him up off the ground. Here, give me your hand. Watch what happens when Tim touches the $1 bills. They actually can turn.
Wow,
1, 2,
that's
5,
actually insane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow. That's it.
This is the Miami.
That's it. Yeah, we don't need more magic. Anna can just transform money, and then we'll all be rich.
Yes, that's a souvenir. Just giving out money.
Just giving out money.
Every Miami girl's favorite is when I do that.
That's insane.
They love it.
That's insane.
Yeah, I feel like I learned that here.
Yeah, you're like, I
learned
came
how to
up with that
multiply
here.
money.
You're like, I
Yeah.
came up with that here.
Very Miami magic move.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So cards are your go-to. You do that.
I like doing impromptu stuff. So I love cards. Like cards is definitely what I'm known for, but I like doing magic with ordinary objects. I like to see what I can do without cards. I try to go as far as I can without cards.
Gotcha.
Like watch, phone, ring. Show me the ring thing. You see this?
Okay.
If you had a ring, you could use your ring. I don't want people to think it's a trick ring. Okay, ready? 1, 2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, check it out.
This is a real ring.
It's a real ring. It doesn't open or anything.
So what would you say was the craziest magic trick that you've done? Do you say like the crazy ones for? See, that's insane.
Yeah, it's back.
I don't know where it went.
It's back on my finger.
See?
Okay.
It's too fast. I feel like, have you ever
I'll
seen
slow
those
down.
TV shows where like people can pickpocket the watch and stuff
Oh
fast?
yeah, I love that stuff. I mean, the craziest thing I do is I think people really like pickpocketing. I really like mentalism.
Okay, what is that?
Mentalism is like here. I'll show you. Okay, we'll do one more.
Pickpocketing would be insane. Like if someone could just steal my watch off me, I'd be like, what in the world? That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll do this correctly. Think of any number between 1 and 100.
Oh, that's good.
Quick, go.
Okay, got it.
What was the number so everyone here knows?
57.
57? No way. 57?
57.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Show the camera.
What in the world? There's no way.
Take a look.
Wow.
Imagine I just like flip through.
Yeah.
It's just like a different number.
That's insane. There's a lot of numbers.
There's a lot of numbers.
Okay, so mentalism is where you
Get in people's head.
get in people's head.
Yeah.
And then there's more like, and then there's cards, which is
Cards.
the standard
I like
one.
mentalism. I think I'm getting more into mentalism now. I like that, but it's not easy to perform out
Yes.
because you know, in the environments that we're in, like where it's like loud and dark, you kind of need people to have their concentration and focus. So it's harder to do mentalism when we're like out and about. Like I feel like with cards, at least it's visual.
Yeah.
So I can just kind of like do some like throwing the cards in the air, making the cards appear.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I do a lot of cards out because they're the most visual when we're just out and about.
Yes, exactly. And
but in my live show, I definitely do a lot more mentalism.
More mentalism.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, I was stuck on like 2 numbers too, and Anna's like, quick. And I was like, okay, I'm going to decide on one. Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I feel like that was amazing.
Yes.
So.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, I feel like I learned a ton about you, and I'm excited to watch you on America's Got Talent.
Thank you.
So
I'm excited for it to come out.
Go support Anna, everyone.
Yes, go vote. And thank you, Tim, for having me again. This has been amazing. I'm really glad we got to talk more.
Yes, of course.
Thanks for letting me show you magic, too. I feel like we're not.
I'm going to be scared. Every time I see 57, I'm worried. Like, I'm going to think about...
People always get scared of me all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm still
like, I'm not a witch. I'm just a magician.
No, people think I'm a witch. I mean, I've gotten that before. That's what my ex used to call me. Wait, no, I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
Thanks. Well, bye. Thank you.